everyone. One of the things that happens when we start talking about place value is we start realizing how insanely large numbers are. Um, Up until now, you use a number like million, you might not be thinking like, oh my gosh, that's a big number, but it really is a gigantic number. So I wanted to read a book, one of my favorite books of explaining how big numbers are. It's called How Much is a Million? I'm going to put it on the screen here, so hopefully you can see the pictures better while I read, but I still wanted to read it to you since I love this book. Basically, well, just pay attention. Yeah, I'm going to find out some stuff. All right, so this book is called How Much is a Million? How much is a million? Of course, we can pause it right there. As you notice, look, it's place value. One, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and then what comes after 100,000s? A million. So place values everywhere, even children's books. All right, so how much is a million? By David M. Schwartz, pictures by Stephen Kellogg. So, Marvelissimo, the mathematical magician. So, we're going to follow the adventures of Marvelissimo. If 1 million kids climbed onto one another's shoulders, they would be taller than the tallest buildings, higher than the highest mountains, and farther up than airplanes can fly. First of all, whoever decided to do this, who's thinking about the kid on the bottom? It's got to be the strongest kid ever. Like legs like tree trunks. Otherwise, how can you stand and have like a million or like 999,999 kids on your shoulders, right? Because you're the millionth if you're on the bottom. So anyway, watch out. If someone tries to stack you into a stack of a million, tell them no. All right, but you would be in the sky farther up than planes can fly. It's pretty crazy. All right, so if you wanted to count from 1 to 1 million, it would take you about 23 days. 23 days. If a goldfish bowl were big enough for 1 million goldfish, it would be large enough to hold a whale. That's big. A whale's big. All right. Presto, 100 stars. So out of his wand come 100 stars over here. And then it says, if this book had 1 million tiny stars, they would fill 70 pages. Climb aboard. There's 1 page of stars, 2 pages of stars, 3 pages of stars, 4 pages of stars, 5 pages of stars. You look there. 6 pages of stars, 7 pages of stars. And it says there at the end, it says, there you have 100,000 stars. If we take this 7-page journey 10 times, we'll pass 1 million stars. Let's do that later. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. So, it's a lot. All right, how big is a billion? Bigger than 1 million. But how big is it? If 1 billion kids made a human tower, once again, child abuse, don't stack your friends, they would stand up past the moon, all the way past the moon. Like, that's crazy. If you sat down to count from 1 to 1 billion, you would be counting for 95 years. I wonder if you get to sleep. 95 years. If you found a goldfish bowl large enough to hold 1 billion goldfish, it would be as big as a stadium. So kind of like downtown, the UT Stadium, maybe as big as that. If this book had 1 billion tiny stars, its pages spread side by side would stretch almost 10 miles. So we stretched the pages out, 7 of them made 100,000, so 10 miles of pages would make 1 billion. How tremendous is a trillion? If 1 trillion kids stood on top of each other, they would reach way, way, way beyond the moon. Once again, don't stack your friends. Beyond Mars and Jupiter too. And almost as far as Saturn's rings. So 1 trillion kids. I don't even know there's trillions of kids in the galaxy, other planets, all that stuff. I don't even think we can stack that high. If you wanted to count from 1 to 1 trillion, good luck. It would take you almost 200,000 years. So I think that means that you're not going to get to the end. If you put a trillion goldfish in a goldfish bowl, the bowl would have to be as big as a city harbor. So a city harbor, I don't know if any of y'all have seen a city harbor, but that is a big, big, big place. If you put a trillion of our stars onto a gigantic roll of paper, it would stretch all the way from New York in America to New Zealand, which is outside of Australia. It's like one of the longest plane trips that you can take. And then there's like a bunch of cool stuff at the end of it, but you will probably have to check out this book from the library or something if you want to read all of the cool stats. Some of the cool things in the back of it were things like it really broke down how they figured out the math. So it's saying like on the tiny stars pages, the pages where there was like 100,000 stars on 7 pages, it was saying that the basic star pattern we have used contains 108 stars across by 133 stars down. 108 times 133 equals 14,364 stars per page. Since there are 7 pages, we would have 7 times 14,364 stars equals 100,548 stars. So they kind of show you how their math worked and showed you why 7 pages of stars was over 100,000 stars. So once again, this book is called How Much is a Million by David Schwartz and pictures by Stephen Kellogg. And if you have this book, or if your siblings or a friend have that book, it's pretty cool. It looks like a little kid book, but it talks about the same stuff we're learning in 5th grade math, and it even talks about trillions, which are beyond the things that we learn in 5th grade math. So you're responsible through 100 billions. So the biggest number that you will read this year is 999 billion, 999 million, 999,999. We could also add 999 thousandths to the very end of that after the decimal point. We got 9s all over the place. All right, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story. I'll see you later.